you, but you let go. I waited for hours, but you never showed.
嗨，大家好，我是萱头，欢迎回到我的频道。前阵子我在 Facebook 上面看到一则贴文，他写说关于我弟晋升成爱尔兰森林主的故事。我弟弟在疫情的时候搬到了爱尔兰，我爸爸不大理解我弟弟为什么要辞掉仁爱医院医师的工作，从阳明山的别墅搬到地球最远的角落当野人。虽然他在爱尔兰也是医师，当然我不白眼赏我弟，这才是最主要的原因。家人们总是要在一起才真正亲戚。我弟其实就是夫唱妇随，我弟老婆是匈牙利籍的，大概就是人家口中孩子那种从小精英教育会说多种语言，中文、我就在大学教授，然后把我弟喊到爱尔兰来了。我也是。有去爱尔兰玩的，不要错过他们家的蒙古包，因为主人非常有心的经营，然后要早一点订，因为只有2个房间，一不小心就订完了。我看到这篇文的时候想说，我一定要去啊，就在爱尔兰，而且我查了一下，就是从都柏林开车过去只要2个半小时就到了。于是呢，我们今天就来寻找文章中这位森林主人 ，Let's go！我找到森林主了，这就是 Nikki。Hi， Yeah, we sit here.
Hi， 大家好，我是 Dr. Nicolette Igani， 我叫我 Nikki。然后不好意思，可是我的中文真的退步，因为我们2020离开台湾，所以不好意思，我的中文没那么好，所以我会讲英文，不好意思。
不好意思，我台语。You were a diplomat in Taiwan, in Taipei.
I was a diplomat in many countries, but also in Taiwan, yes.
For how long?
So I was in Taiwan for almost 8 years, quite banyan. 对呀 and I was the 副代表, so the deputy ambassador.
From Hungary.
Yes, I'm from Hungary. 匈牙利的副代表，对呀 and I was also the consul, so it was a quite, you know, in Taiwan we have quite a small office, so there are quite a lot of things to do for one person. It's basically a 3-person office, so I was doing pretty much everything, we could say. I was also the leader for 2 years for the EU Schengen Committee, so that was another responsibility of mine.
So back then, were you able to speak in Mandarin? Is it a necessity?
It's not necessary like 不用，当然不用，因为没有很多人可以讲中文。
So you don't have to learn.
不用，可是应该不错。
都还不错。
对 like I would say it was very useful at that time. When I got to Taipei, my major was more Japanese. I was speaking Japanese, so it was a new language for me. But because living there, I think that's the only way to learn a language, especially a hard language like Chinese, getting immersed in the culture. So I would say I learned it pretty well because it was like part of my everyday job. But also I have to say what I figured with Taiwanese people, they are so friendly and so nice. Once I start speaking Chinese to them, they would switch to English. Like even when I have high-level meetings, you know, with ministers and even, you know, with your president before, we would start talking in Chinese, just some pleasantries, right?
Yeah.
But they would immediately switch, so the real talk would be in English.
They all speak English.
Yes. So we would start in Chinese, and everyone would really appreciate that because most of the diplomats, now there are some, but most of my diplomat mates were not speaking Chinese, so it was very, very appreciated. But like they would always switch. So it's not needed, but it's definitely a plus.
So what is the diplomat life in the whole day? Like what is the schedule? I'm so curious about it.
That's a very long question. Well, so basically what a diplomat does, what an embassy does, is we maintain all the relationships between two countries. So we have governmental levels relations, we have the politics level, the delegations between the ministries, you know, the 2 foreign ministries, and then we have on the citizen level. So let's say in Taiwan, any Hungarian who is in Taiwan, whether it be a tourist or whether it be living there, if they have any issues, even from, let's say, their passport expired, or they got into trouble, or they get to a hospital, anything, or even if they pass away, we would have to deal with that. The same, if any Taiwanese person would like to come to Hungary, they have to come to us for visa. Now, you guys are visa free for 3 months, but if you would like to study or do or any other work and so on, they will have to come to us for interview. Now, if there is any signature authentication, there are companies, relations, they would all have to go through us. And of course, any agreement between the two countries, any delegations, any official meetings would be going through us. So that would be during the day. And then in the evenings, you would obviously have to attend parties and banquets and dinner meetings, which are not as fun as they sound. Obviously, they are lovely and it's great for socializing, but that's where you're working. You're not there for eating or drinking. So that's a very short answer.
So how long have you worked as a people in Tokyo?
11 years.
11 years?
Yes.
And then you quit the job? Or like
so I haven't, like, I would say I kind of quit, but like I not fully quit. So like my whole life I had, as I'm sure everyone is the same, couple of dreams. I'm coming from a lawyer family, so everyone is a lawyer of different kind in my family. So for me, the legal path was kind of decided. But I love languages. My mother tongue is Hungarian, but English, German, and Japanese. And then at that time I was, and now I'm learning some Gaelic, Irish. So for me, I love communication. I love, socializing with people. So I would say languages, international relations, law, kind of, this is a perfect path where they, merge, and that's diplomacy. And also, I think there's a sort of proudness to be able to represent your country. So that's definitely lovely. Although I think everyone is an ambassador. Many times I would be asked in Taiwan I went to almost all the universities to make presentations also about diplomacy and also about Hungary. And I would always tell the Taiwanese students that I'm not the only diplomat in the room, because I think all of you are diplomats. You are a diplomat for Taiwan, because whenever you travel abroad, and you travel so much, Lucy, right? People don't really care about politics, or they don't know that, that country, you had that agreement. No one cares. They care about, I met a Taiwanese and she was so lovely. And that's the everyday diplomacy. The way we behave, the way we act, that's how people will, connect Taiwan. That, there was a lovely person. And I think that's why it's very important that every person who travels behaves knowing that you represent your own country. Yeah.
Okay, so what made you leave Taiwan and come to Ireland? Since 2020, right? During the COVID.
So actually, I haven't fully answered the quitting. I came here because of my job. I was posted to Ireland. Now I was offered other postings as well, but Ireland was technically our choice. It was also about for my husband to be able to work. He's a doctor, and let's say if we go to Finland, it would be a bit harder for him to start learning Finnish. So it was, but at the end of the day, I was sent here by my ministry to be a diplomat. I was the vice ambassador of the Hungarian embassy in Dublin. And to finish answering your previous question, I always had other dreams, and I felt like when you're a diplomat, it's really a 24/7 job, which is lovely. I'm not complaining, but there is no stopping. And I knew if I don't take a break, and let's say I go and fulfill some other dreams of mine, it will be always that one path for me. And I'm not saying I would not return to the ministry. In fact, like a week ago, I got a call from the ministry for another job offer, but I asked them a bit more time, since I would like to, I'm not so sure yet, but maybe 1-2 years to just work on this dream at the moment. And then we will see, because what happened, we were working in Dublin with my husband, and one evening he got a job. He just, we were talking at the dinner, and he just shows me his phone. It's so funny. He got a job offer in Galway, and obviously he's not gonna, accept it. I'm working at the embassy, but I was like, this is a sign.
This is something.
And everything happened super fast. I was like, I started to check, the properties around here.
On Daft?
On Daft, yeah. Oh yeah.
You also check the website.
Oh yes. Oh my God. So I would drive from Dublin in the evenings if I have time to check out properties.
So how many properties you check?
I would say maybe like no, but on the daft, yeah, way over 100. But actually coming here, I would say maybe around 20 or so, which I actually traveled to and seen. The moment, I don't know if you show it in your video, the moment there is the forest, you turn onto like in the middle of nowhere, there's a forest road, and the moment we turned onto the forest road, just like a forest, a dark forest in the road, I felt like this is it. So I knew that this is it, because I always wanted to, this other dream of mine was to open a hospitality business, a B&B. When I was a diplomat, I always looked for places in the middle of nowhere.
It's your dream.
I wanted to offer the same thing that I needed, because I had a very busy life, and I know if you're living a very busy city life, you want to get away.
You
Privacy, nature, just away from it all. So I wanted to offer the same thing I needed when I was a diplomat to people. So I want to set up this glamping and then move on, probably back to Taiwan. No, never know.
Okay, so now you own this huge land.
Yeah, we own a lot. Yeah, forest and lake and hills and streams and ponds and yeah, it's 32 acres. It's quite big on yeah.
是32万英亩，
对
4万平。
对。
I saw your brother-in-law's quote. Yeah, he said.
So that's how we met.
Yes.
So we actually met yesterday for the first time in our life.
Yeah. How did you accept my request, like to come here? So
Well, it was so sudden. My brother-in-law, who is Taiwanese, my husband is Taiwanese, 台湾人, and he lives in China. He has a travel agency. He just made a Facebook post about our place without my knowledge. I mean, I was like, what? No, I had no idea. He tagged me because I just made our Facebook profile. I just saw it and I was like, oh my God. So I was like so happy and shocked. And guess what? You're actually the second Taiwanese who reached over there, because I have a Taiwanese who booked the glamping. He didn't like reach it, but I was like, that must have come from his post. And then when you wrote to me, of course, I was like very happy. I mean, that's no lie that I have a soft spot for Taiwanese people. So I'm very happy to meet Taiwanese everywhere.
谢谢 Niki 跟我们分享他的故事，听完后都让我有更想去做自己想做的事的冲动。还等什么呢？
So how do you find being an owner of this forest?
I mean, it's not buroni, not easy. It's a bit different than having the apartment on Yangmingshan with the staff and the receptionist and housekeeper. It's a bit different. Now I'm the housekeeper of 32 acres. It's a different lifestyle. It's funny because I switched from high heels to wellies. And it's very stylish, isn't it? It's definitely different. I mean, there is not a day when I don't have to come out and do some work, which is definitely very different from, my previous life. But, I always wanted to try this, and I think it's important. We have 80, maybe 90 years. It's important to try us out in many things that we are interested and we are drawn to know. And I know if I would have, because before I left, I was offered a high-level job, I mean even higher, an ambassadorial job, and I know if I would have accepted this, that's pretty much the past, the old retirement. Yeah, so I think now this is a chance for me to fulfill another part of me. So I think it's important to switch off and to share this experience with other people.
The sun will shine on you. 在森林里听完了 Niki 的分享后，他带我来到吊床。森林里看到的荡秋千、吊床和告示牌，全都是 Niki 亲手制作的。
There you go.
We can continue interview like this.
So why did you decide to become a YouTuber? Now I'm becoming.
What is the biggest difference between life in Taiwan and Ireland?
Oh well,
Big question.
I would say the efficiency.
Efficiency.
Taiwan is incredibly efficient. I think everyone can agree with that. So I remember one Sunday evening we had an issue with our Wi-Fi, and Sunday evening it was fixed. Now, when you live here, it's a little bit harder to get anyone come out.
Even in Dublin.
There you go. Even in Dublin, so it's not here.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's not necessarily a bad thing. That also means that the way Irish people look at their life is a bit different. They are a bit more easygoing, more dolce vita, more laid back. No rush. No rush. I remember once I went to change my tires, and I had the appointment on time, and they made me wait like more than 1 hour. And when I was like, I have to go to work, and I have other things. It was just like, no panic, no panic. And then I realized, no panic. That's the motto. What's the worst to happen? If you live your life like this, everything you just have to adjust your time. No panic. It's Ireland. Relax.
Okay, so if you come to Ireland,
No panic. You have vans in Taiwan. We don't have Mayo vans. Do we have Mayo vans? Mayo at all. But
there's beaches.
we have midges, yeah. Which I don't mind, but some people do.
I was out drinking, looking for the next thing. I couldn't really settle down.
跟大家介绍这个美好的地方，在 County Mayo 西边的爱尔兰 ，West of Ireland.
Indeed.
Yeah, welcome to join this.
欢迎大家。
来煮蒙古包，这是有第一个蒙古包，还有第二个蒙古包，然后你就可以享受这样的风景。
从台湾到爱尔兰，能在这里相遇，真是一种缘分。在影片的最后，就跟大家介绍一下蒙古包里面长什么样子吧。如果有来爱尔兰，不要错过喽！
That was not very